Alrighty. Matt Albano, what's up, dude?
What's up?
How's it going?
Going pretty well.
You just got done playing a cool marimba piece that you composed. A lot of our viewers out there are, up-and-coming composers themselves. I think it would be really cool to hear how this piece got started and your process. So can you tell us about this?
Yeah, so this piece specifically started in the practice room. Like, it was late at night and I was just hacking around, kind of warming up. And whenever I was warming up, I transitioned to just like improv. And then I started hearing the song in my head and started playing around with that, and created like a foundation or like the root of this piece. And then after just repeating that over and over again ad nauseum, I started to expand out and ask other people like, hey, like, here's my little tune, my little doodle. Do you want to hear it? And what can I do with this? So that's where some of the collaboration started. And one of the huge inspirations and one of my biggest friends is Christian Martin. He helped me like expand upon this piece, coming from the practice room out to there.
So what exactly was the collaboration process in detail? Did you come up and say like, hey, I want to work on this, or did he overhear you? Like, tell us the story of the collaboration.
Yeah, so Christian's one of my good friends, so I had like a really easy time just like opening up to him. Like, usually people are like kind of insecure of their own creations, but going to Christian, I was like super open, like, hey dude, like, this is my melody that I've worked out, like, do you think you can put some like nice bass or just like a harmony and accompaniment with this? Like, this is all I have right now. And he's really good with like bass and rhythms and unique permutations that not all marimbas use. So he was also influenced by other artists like Ivan Trevino and kind of went that route with helping create the bass line. And that's where you see, like in the very beginning, you have the right hand melody and then the bum ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. It just kind of like fills in quite naturally, just because, Christian was able to help me understand like what type of permutation I could use there to create both like a bass harmony and flow it right into the melody.
Awesome. So what is a doodle? Is that something that is that a common term, or is that something that you use? And can you tell us about the doodle?
Yeah, doodle. I just call them doodles. That's just something I kind of coined for myself, because any single time I'm like hacking, that's like my creative process. That is literally me just letting things naturally happen. I explore my own sound, different dynamic levels and whatnot. And through that, I'm able to experience different, I guess you could say, melodies or just different ideas that I can do on the marimba. And those ideas, I call them doodles. And sometimes I'll just create like maybe a 4-bar phrase here or a 4-bar doodle. And then I'm like, that would kind of sound good with this thing that I created a couple of days ago. And then I try to figure out a transition from there. And then all of a sudden I have like a picture to work with. So that's kind of like why I use doodles, because they're just like little scraps of my ideas. And then I can maybe like put them together.
Can you walk us through the piece? Like, in the beginning, this happens, then this happens, then this happens?
Yeah, so I guess the piece being a minute long, like it's just a pretty simple, happy piece, but it like grows and then has like a secondary section where it just like decays, So like in the very beginning, I like to just like set a foundation or the root and kind of expand upon there. There's it repeats twice, like so it kind of is like an AAB pattern, if you're like trying to get really music theory technical. And so I played like the main melody the first time, and then I have a variation upon the ending of it the second time that I go through it, and that transitions to the falling pattern. So like I think like the apex of this piece will be at the second part of the A section, where you go up from the F minor, run up, and then like kind of fall back with the dotted eighth notes, you know.
What are some practice tips? Like, we're about to send this out to the world. People are going to start playing it and they're going to have questions. Like, what are some practice tips you would have for them?
I guess something that's pretty challenging with this piece is just the spread of it. You know, ironically, being a shorter guy, I love to just challenge myself with going from the extremities. So you're going to see some of that. And along with that, just focusing on bar placement itself and being very intentional with where you're placing the notes. Usually, like if you're split from accidental to naturals, you're going to want to put the accidental note on the edge and then the natural note on the center. So that you'll see like some application things through this piece where you can use that tip, you know, just making sure you're very deliberate with your playing zones.
So what's your favorite part of the piece?
My favorite part is definitely like the drop off towards the end, the B section, because like you kind of nailed the beginning of this, and it's like really hard to get it super note perfect, and then you can kind of just chill out for the last part, and it's like really calm, and just a nice like capture of just going down the instrument along with decrescendoing and then getting really soft at the end. It doesn't have to be like a big finish or big finale. It's just like you're content with yourself. So I really love playing like that ending section because of that.
Awesome. And is there any final word or advice you would give to our listeners?
Keep exploring the instrument. I think what's amazing about the keyboard instruments is that, you know, there's no wrong way to play it necessarily. There's always a unique sound that you can find, and once you find that unique sound, you can purposely use that sound as a color. You know, like just playing in the center of the bar doesn't always mean that that's the correct thing. Sometimes you want to explore different timbres with it, you know. So you do set a foundation by creating a full sound, but, you know, exploring the instrument is really important.
That's awesome, man. All right. Well, thank you so much. Thanks for coming. And
Thanks for having me.
Catch you next time.
Yeah.